intervene now. So let's promote the advocacy for Seret regarding the situation for us now. Okay, so just this way, wherein climate change, global warming cause and affect our choice, Mother Earth. So what you do makes the difference for you, for me, for our kids, and only you have to decide what kind of difference you have to make in our lives. There will be no more real estate to sell or to buy when this happens. Because tsunami is all around us. Volcano is so strong. We are on the verge of the tipping point wherein Philippines is sitting on the ring of fire. There's no escape for that. It's for us now to put our acts together. Okay. So this one, the lady is Jane Goodall, is an advocate really for so many decades. She spearheaded for the future because she made a study that you put all the species of the animal together, all the ants, all the creeping in the ocean, and all there is, they can coexist. They can survive. But put all mankind together, without them, we are as a gunner, we perish. So, what's the difference now? Why we are on that situation, thinking animal, but yet we can put our acts together to protect the future. So then, climate change, environment, at a point of no return. The primatologist says so. So she made a thorough study. So on this one is, we don't want to be alarmists here, one thing sure, but we do care for each other. That's why I said I volunteered for this job too, because this is now my advocacy. One time, I addressed in Zamboanga del Norte, and immediately the medical association bring in their acts together and they planted trees. So immediately they got the message and they plant trees. The next time I did my lecture on advocacy on the coastal resource management, and they clean up the beaches. And for us here, I really do. If we put our advocacy together, then I volunteer to be a member to that. Okay, so this is terrifying. So what counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have to the lives of others will determine the significance of the life we live. And no question about Mandela. He was incarcerated for 28 years when he came out, and then he was looking for peace, and he became an advocate for peace as well as the environmental enhancement of Mother Earth. So, economic. This is the crux. Economic gain versus long-term protection of the environment for the future. In fact, all of the lectures, be it President Marcos or be it anybody internationally, first of their concern is the environment. Okay, economic gain. Look, we spend trillions dollars a year to address our climate global warming. Yet, we are just simply a victim as a developing country because the more developed countries like Europe, America, China, they are the biggest culprits of the climate change. But look at the economic gain that they are wanting to, so the polluters must pay, and they must pay. So this is our Earth, okay? We have to maintain this temperature. But because of the global warming, point by point percentage after on the year 2030, It's the tipping point if we not address our concern. Come 2050 is we are all goodbye if we don't address the point. Oh yes.
Lugay na mga kaya. Lugay na
It's
kaya
for
nila.
us, I said at the
Tao
very
gaya
beginning,
Abot na
that is our
Dahil
concern.
oo.
More than the
2015.
war in Ukraine,
Pero ang
more than
2030.
the
end of
concern
Earth is
of
2031.
Taiwan and all those.
2030.
Remember,
Muna na.
in the newspaper that
Nanay na ta.
Afghanistan, which is
Woman na
going,
30
coming
years.
over so many thousands, and they will process their papers, documentation that they can travel to America. But why the Philippines? They are the hotbed for terrorism. We cannot afford the brothers of the South or the people in the North or we are in this really disarray. Okay? But thanks God, it's our still Philippines that we appreciate. Okay? So, this is our concern. Wherein
Lalahi naman ang kuwan.
Venus is 450 degrees centigrade. Napakainit kayo na. Mars is less than 60 degrees centigrade.
I live in
Okay?
Andigadas.
But now, the Mother Earth is 16% din tayo.
Your desire.
But every year, we continue to 1.0% up to when it goes up, then kiss ourselves goodbye. So, this is what is happening all over the world when in climate change. The parks land. We go for in agriculture, but we don't have the means for our agriculture income. Onion, tomato, cabbage are being imported. So, unsa na ba yung signature na to?
Kamote.
The saving grace is our OFW.
Sa kamote din. Ito si kamote.
Then our unsung hero.
Calibre.
Another one is our resiliency. But that's what we are now. Okay, bushfire obliterations, it's all over. Right now, in Greece, you can see the damage every day. Okay, one thing sure for our air conditioning. The one that destroys us is the air conditioning.
Correct. I
But
agree.
we can hardly
Agree
live
to
now
that.
without air condition. But it multiplies. It adds up to the carbon dioxide. It adds up to the methane. It adds up the warming of Mother Earth. So that fallen animals, okay, the encroachment and everything, it's the species are no longer there. Slowly by slowly they are disappearing. So waste and garbage, really this is the one. Because our waste is telling us so much. Methane. And this one is the biggest culprit. So what should we do?
Here.
I suggest that commercially
Nadung sa
we have to slow down. We have a lot of dresses, clothes at home that we cannot see, but it's in the end, I'm guilty to that, really. I'm guilty to that. Yet we continue to build up. In fact, what happens to me during the Odette, which is the second of the world, the biggest typhoon, super typhoon that happened, is I was caught by that in my own residence, by myself, and simply, it's an ordeal. Because for so many hours, I ran to my car, hit on the ground like that, I thought it was the end of the world. But that is just the beginning, the tipping point. Okay, so that industrial pollution, can we stop the country to address their pollution? Because right now, we need fossil fuel. The gasoline are coming underground. Where did it come from? It's simply from the trees. And over thousands of years, it becomes carbon. And it becomes a fuel. And it becomes, we brought it up, we use it. But that is so rich in carbon dioxide. So that this one, illegal logging is still rampant. And illegal mining is still there. again, economically, on the parlance is, di man takahunong kay we need money to run the machinery of the government. So it's a balancing act for us to get ourselves to address what is the priority. Okay, so the trillions of dollars are being spent, and there are yearly cooperation of the people of the world that gets together, they address what is the problem, and they address that. But really the problem is the money that we should become out for our expense to address the global warming. And again, moving forward is, even President Marcos, as in many speeches I was listening to him, it's on the reducing the greenhouse gas emissions. It's like this. The sun throws the ultraviolet ray. There is A, there is B. The A is harmful. That causes cancer for the skin. But the B is milder. But there is a canopy in the sky, say 20, 30 miles above the atmosphere. There is the layer of the Mother Earth. But the emission also of the methane and CO2 is the one that is pushing the atmosphere. Wherein, you remember that there is an ozone layer. Remember when there is about to rain, yung kaigang mag-aigudron, ulan siguro. It's because the warmth of the environment cannot get through. And that's why when they rain dito, rain will stay there forever, either it's hot or cold. And there's the cycle of the water, when it precipitates, it goes up, it goes down. But the killer here is the warm air that eradicates the Arctic Ocean, the glacier. And daghang rin ng ice dito sa north. Unya, they will bore down by the heat, and then water, that will be the prime causes of tsunami. See? And how many are we living in the coastal? For me, really, I see always to it that if I start business in real estate, I make it really known that living in the coastal, any moment the water will rise. Who knows? It will be now or tomorrow, because we are the big ones are coming. We don't know when, but the signal, the data are all there. Okay, we don't want really to spoil our afternoon, really. Believe me, I don't want to do that. But however, I just want to put our acts together for an advocacy. In fact, I have a tremendous amount of data for us to share, but we'll just shorten it because we can continue to do it. Because I know it has already come across to ourselves that we are really on the verge of deciding good or bad, sink or swim, now or forever. So that here, I will shorten what they say. Could we go to the next slide, please? Hello. The third slide. What do they say? Okay. The leaders, our leaders, have something to say for us. Okay. So this is the cycle. The tree, over years, will soil the carbon, and that goes the one. And this is the one that we are bringing up as a fuel, fossil fuel. Is that inexhaustible? Yes, it is inexhaustible. Yes, it is inexhaustible. That's the cycle. And then the water cycle, condensation, precipitation, collection, and goes round. As I said, the water will never diminish. It goes as it is, but it could be harmful. And then, okay. So the next slide, I would like to go to the next slide. The next file.
Go ahead.
Okay, these are what our leaders are
Sayang
telling
kay mo.
us.
No.
The chant starts with you and me, let's end climate change. Okay? Cool the earth with greenery or miss all the scenery. This is some slogans that they were telling us. Don't burn your kids' future. Stop global warming.
Pumpkin.
Save the planet, make no more greenhouse gases.
Buta na sa waiter.
Save trees to fight climate change or the earth will
Pumpkin.
take
No,
revenge.
lugaw.
Okay, so much to that. The Pope says, we believe the Pope, and he says, the time for seeking global solutions is running out.
Arroz caldo.
We can find
Arroz
suitable
caldo.
solutions only if we
Let's not
act
hold
together
fast.
and in agreement.
Eh, Spanish na arroz caldo.
So that's very succinctly
Porridge.
said, so clear for us to appreciate what is expected. And the President of Secretary General of the United Nations says, climate change is the single greatest threat to a sustainable future, but at the same time addressing the climate change presents a golden opportunity to promote one, prosperity, security, and a brighter future for all. That's the Secretary General of the UN. And Kofi Annan said the world is reaching
Kamay
the
na lang
tipping
kain
point
mo.
beyond which climate change may become irreversible. If this happens, we risk denying present and future generations the right to a healthy and sustainable planet. Really, you can feel, mga batang ba mag-iang-giang na. It's because it's really there. Okay. Because we are already imbalanced. And there are sicknesses that we haven't known it the past, but it's coming up. That have
Ayaw na siguro na sila
identified.
laki.
But it's the product of the global warming. Okay. So that Obama says we are the first generation to feel the effect of climate change, and the last generation who can do something about it. Okay, so very clearly it's for us. Okay, and forward is like the president of France by polluting the oceans, not mitigating CO emissions and destroying our biodiversity. We are killing our planet. Let us face it. There is no planet B. So even Arnold Schwarzenegger, I've starred in a lot of science fiction movies, and let me tell you something, climate change is not science fiction. This is a battle in the real world. It is impacting us right now. I experienced when I was in California, the broker is required on the transaction an EIR, Environmental Impact Report. That cost, it would be simply a form when you transact. First, a transaction though is you have to solve the E, just like us. Second is there must be an environmental impact report from a broker. It could be narrative, it could be simply form you fill up, but we need that. But here is, we have all the privilege, unlimited privilege given us. So let's accept it, that that privilege is not a right that can be taken away back from us. If we want to go fast, we may go alone. If we want to go fast and far, it's the seventh way as an organization. But if you are all together address this one unitedly, it's our obligation to face the irreversible situation that could come up anytime. And on this point, I say good afternoon to each one of us. Then thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Pam, of your very interesting topic about climate change. Again, a big hand to Dr. Pam. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call on our second Vice President, Mr. Peter Gold, to introduce Out of certificate pa. Sige. Dr. Tam, please, sir. Baliw, sir. Baliw, sir.
Basa.
Nabili ni mo certificate.